Thank you.
With those sort of characters, do you ever feel typecasted in that sort of a role?
Yeah, man. Like, so like one of the things that I was speaking to my agent with, like after Gassed Up, is that, you know, I've been typecast a bit in the sense that it seems like if you need like an aggressive hood white boy, you can definitely shout me, and you guys can definitely shout me if the money's right. But I am trying to expand on my repertoire because like I can do a lot more, and that's another one of the reasons why I started writing. Originally, the first thing I wrote to actually shoot, which was called You're Welcome, I wrote it to just showcase another side of myself and two actors that I know. We all put our money in together and was like, let's self-fund ourselves a short film and just showcase the characters that we want to show. So I wrote myself as like a homeless drunk Irishman, which is very different from Roach. You know what I mean? He's actually a funny guy. He's jovial. He's had a hard life, but he finds happiness in his life, even through drink, I guess. But like, he's not anything like Roach. And I wrote it specifically to be like, I just want to show another side of myself.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I do get typecast a bit, but then as things have been going on, I've been steering away from it lately.
But do you know what? There's nothing wrong. Like I have never been able to shake my accent, which is that of probably a 1960s EastEnder, and it's just something that I've always been brought up with, being from like Barking and whatever. And I always remember, I've said this in a previous podcast, but like people would say you need elocution lessons and things like that. Like, and I was like, well, you wouldn't ask Amy Winehouse, would you? Why would you ask me?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something to ever shy away from, like what, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but like where you are and where you're from, because you get shows like Top Boy and, you know, you have them types of characters on there, but the real depth within those characters shines through.
No, 100%.
Yeah, and you forget about the accent and where they're from and the type and the way, the style that they are and stuff. Like, I'm just gonna say it, man. I think like he should be on Top Boy. I think that'd be fucking quality to be on that sort of show.
I mean, things like Top Boy, Supercell, these are the things that I would like. These are like the top tier things of that kind of urban genre.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm always open to being in that. Like I'd love to. You know, I know some people that are on both shows and stuff, and I've worked with some of them, and it's like great to work with them all. But I'd love to be a different kind of character. You know, like I know it seems 100%. Like if I was to get slotted in there, most likely I'd be like an aggressive white boy that has beef and does mad things, and I'm happy to do it. But like at the same time, maybe let me be the officer that's onto these man. You know, let me be like the undercover, that young guy who's onto them. Like, and I just feel like there's other roles that I can do, and like you were saying, I'm not shying away from what I am, because one of my biggest acting idols, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Every time you watch Michael Caine in a film, whether he's a murderer, a teacher, a nice old man, you know, he's always himself. But he's different characters. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
mate. It's like Ricky Gervais. It's like, you know, it's like them guys. It's
that kind of acting, you know.
They played him like that. Do you know what? It was so weird because I had this conversation with myself in my head today. Sorry, Fabe. I feel like I'm just spitting here. But it was like, you would never ask Charlie Chaplin to stop being Charlie Chaplin, and he was Charlie Chaplin throughout his whole career. You would never tell Laurel Hardy not to be Laurel Hardy, because they were that through their whole career. Ricky Gervais says that argument, and that's what he is, kind of thing. But like, you know,
there's types of actors.
There's types of actors. Michael Caine is perfect. What you're talking about, that's like another one.
Tom Hardy as well.
Tom Hardy as well.
Similar in the same vein, because he could be, you know, like I've seen him recently as an evil villain, you know, but then like you can look back and see him like in a love story, and he's still the same character. He's still him.
Yeah.
Just like in different situations, you know, and like he alters himself slightly, but you can always be like, that's Tom Hardy. Whereas there's some actors that, you know, that you'll watch a film and you'll be like, that's not the same guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I think one of the best ones for me was the guy that plays Tommy Egan, Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
So like he done a role where he's like a pregnant transgendered man or something. Like, and I was like, amazing. I was like, this is amazing, because like I would watch it and not even clock you're the same. Except for the face, obviously, is a bit bait. But do you know what I mean? I'm very happy to like play a role where I'm completely different, man. Like I'd play like a transgendered role. I'd put on the dress and stuff. Like if it was for a proper story and it actually had something behind it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't always have to be like the drug dealing bad boy.
No.
So you've answered one of my questions I was going to ask.
Oh, really? Would you play those roles?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing that's off limits for you then?
I mean, for me, it's like, as long as it's tasteful, do you know what I mean? As long as it's tasteful, like there's obviously there's things like when it comes to like intimacy and scenes and stuff, like there's whole intimacy coordinators out there, and it can be shot in certain ways. But most times, man, I think I'm pretty much game for anything as long as it's professional and it's artistic and it's for a reason, you know. But definitely like dark and violent things, bro, I'm so open to it, bro. Like I love that kind of stuff, man. So yeah, like if you need my character to do some mad stuff, I'm the guy. If you want some mad stuff to happen to your character, I'm the guy. Because I'll smile and do it.
Well, when you talk about dark and violent, man, I mean, you got to get beating the out of Batman as a
well, yeah, Batman beat me up. Yeah,
Batman beat you up, man. Like
that's pretty good.
I am a full on Batman freak out guy. I collected the comics as a kid, and like you exist in the universe now,
bro.
man.
I do. There's a little figurine of me, and then there's like some fans made like a few alternative posters of it, and it has like featuring my character as well. And I was like, damn, people really like the little Gotham boys. You know what I mean? Mate, it became like a little thing. Like,
have you seen the Penguin? Have you been watching it?
No spoilers. I've been because that's going to be something that I really like.
Yeah.
I wait until it's all out so I can just spend like a few days powering through it with my girlfriend.
Yeah. but you're in that world still. Do you know what I mean? Like to me, you still exist.
We were there, innit? We're there.
But I was like watching it, like thinking he might pop up. Like
I would love to.
The gang, man. You know what I mean? But like, what was that? I mean, I'm a total Batman freak out guy, you know, so I'm going to get a bit fangirl on it. But like, so what was that experience like? I mean, Matt Reeves being directed by him. I mean, the trilogy of the Planet of the Apes, which to me was like one of the best trilogies that has been in terms of Comic-Con-esque films or whatever. But now he gets the Batman. Like, I mean, what was it like working on that set?
So it was the biggest set I've ever been on, even to this day. I did this like quite a few years ago, obviously, but even to this day, biggest set I've ever been on. We were supposed to go to America to shoot this, so our scenes, but it was in the original contract. But because of COVID, they actually had to scratch that, and they actually built the whole train in Leavesden Studios in Watford.
Wow.
Which is insane for me because it was like a moving thing, like it would move, and they built it. And I was like, what the hell? Like, they were supposed to shoot it in a subway station in New York, but it was like, let's just bring the subway station here. And yeah, massive set, amazing opportunity. Even someone like Robert Pattinson like took time to speak to us. You know, we had quite minor roles in the film, but there was times when he was chatting to us. Everyone had like a real good energy around there, you know, because everyone, like you said, everyone's like a fan, and everyone's like a superhero fan. They were filming, I believe it was Venom, like at the same time, simultaneously. So like every now and again, you'll see someone from Venom's cast and stuff, like, and Zoe Kravitz saw her, and I was like, yo. in the suit as well, doing backflips and stuff. I was like, yeah, let me just, I'm actually allowed to stand here and watch. You know what I mean? Usually someone would be like, sorry, move. Like, I was actually allowed to be there, man. And Matt Reeves is awesome. He let us have a bit of freedom and creativity. All the face paint you see us have, he told us to do it ourselves.
Sick.
And then he okayed each one. So even my one that had the cross on the head, I was like, how can I distinguish myself? The cross. And he was like, I love it. I was like, all right, cool, perfect.
Oh, wicked.
The only one with the cross is me, and that's because Matt Reeves okayed it. And yeah, so that scene, that big train station scene, like, it's the only time that I've ever done something like this where they had a constant amount of water coming on top of us. We had to wear wetsuits.
Right.
Because in the fight scenes in the rain, right?
Yeah.
So they're just constantly showering us with water, like freezing cold water as well. Like,
wow.
So like we worked through it. Even though it was an amazing experience, like it was tough because it's like hours upon hours of just doing the same choreography. Matt Reeves is a perfectionist as well. So like until he's happy with the take, you're not moving on. Even if it's just Batman walking out of the shadow, it's like, we're going again. And we're all shivering and freezing, but we're like, okay, Matt. Like, it's just like, let's make what he wants, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it came out fantastic, man. I think it's one of the best Batman films, so.
I think it's the most accurate, but also the most realistic.
Yeah, it's gritty. I like that it's gritty.
It's year 2, isn't it? Year 1 is the graphic novel, which is where he first begins. This is it's year 2 where he's like, I don't know. Anyway, let's get off. You know, I love it.
You'll go forever.
I could go forever on Batman. I'd like. Well, who would you play as a Batman villain? Who would you love to play?
I mean, the type of character like would have to be Penguin or Riddler. Really, one of them. One of them. Like Penguin is because like everyone. He's so endearing, innit? Like he's an endearing character, and then he turns out so bad. Like I like the young Penguin from like Gotham and stuff. You know what I mean? I like him. I'd love to play that character.
Okay.
But also like my own twisted version of Riddler would be super fun as well.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But make a new character for me.
Oh, mate, I could go endless with the characters. Like even a Two-Face would be fun to play, wouldn't it? Like you did Two-Face, or you did like the villains. Like I loved what Tom Hardy did with Bane, because again, you talk about spins on stuff. Like he got the idea for what a lovely, lovely voice and all this. It was like actually a Welsh traveller. So he got it the concept of the voice, and it was this famous Welsh traveller who was a bare knuckle champion boxer.
I swear.
Just a bad man, right?
I don't even know about this.
Yeah, oh mate, it's so interesting when he talks about it. And the voice was very much like this, you know, when he talked. But then all of a sudden he said, well, how can I mutate it and make it sound international? And he just changed the voice. But that's what you do, innit, as an actor. I'd if someone went to me, you know, you can give up your life or be a Batman villain, I'd be like, I'll give up.
Just like
stop
that.
the music, stop the podcast. I just want to be a Batman villain.
Yeah. I would love it, man. I would absolutely love it.
How was it on the set though? Like, other than like the main, like not being the main character, how was it for you not doing that role?
Oh, so you're touching on something there. So I was very grateful to be there, and very like I had a trailer. Like I was there. I felt like I'm actually doing what I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
every time like my role, I'm one of the guys that gets punched very early, so I get punched and I'm on the floor. I've been knocked out by Batman, like, you know what I mean. So, and the whole time my one eye's open, and I'm watching like Batman just do all the moves and that, and I'm like, oh. Obviously, like I would love to have a bigger role, and you feel that when you're on set. You know, you're even just someone who's got a slightly bigger role. You'd be like, oh, I kind of wished I had some more lines. And, But at the same time, you know, we're all on our own path and journey, and just being there, I was able to network with some great actors, some great casting associates and assistants and runners, and just people that I still talk to today just from meeting on that set, you know. So it was a great time on the set, man. We had a lot of fun. Plus I had to do choreography training for quite a bit. Okay. So it was like not just the filming. I had like a few weeks, I think 3 weeks of just going to Leavesden and doing choreography with some of the best choreographers in the country, you know, or some of them were from America even. And I believe this is correct, that one of our choreographers that was training us was the original Red Power Ranger, which I thought was pretty damn amazing. I was like, bro, like, you're the original one. Like, he's like, yes. he's you know, he's a bit old, but he's still got all the moves, you know what I mean? But he's past his prime now, but now he's doing choreography, and I was like, that is amazing.
See, there's always a role no matter what.
Yeah, there's always something to get involved in, man. If you don't want to stop, you don't have to stop. You know, you can always fit in somewhere, man.
It's like what you're saying about writing. Like, no matter what, when you finish your acting career, you can still write, and you'll still be in the industry regardless. Yeah.
And I think with youth, I think I want to go into youth as well, like helping. I've done it previously where I've done like drama sessions with kids and stuff, but I think like as my career gets bigger and bigger, I'd love to like do something that could help people.
Yeah.
Like get more into the industry, because like drama schools do it basically, but like I feel like it's still hard, even with the drama school. Like, there's no guarantee. You can pay all the money, and then you still might not even get a short film role. You know?
It's who you know, isn't it, as opposed to what you know, I guess.
Who you know, and I just feel like I'd love to create a space where, like, if you're good, something will happen for you. If you come here, do you know, you have to be good. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. People like, you have to be good. If you're good, come here, we'll hook you up. You know.
Did you go to drama school?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. No. Okay. So I was poor, man. I couldn't afford no drama school. Okay. The prices were a bit mad, but at one point, someone did offer me like a scholarship for a term and stuff, and. You know, shout out to London Voice and Motion, because like he did offer me a scholarship for a term, which no one else did, you know, because he saw something in me. Yeah. But yeah, drama school just didn't seem to be for me. I didn't really flourish in school environment at all, like even in the normal school environment. So I thought drama school might not be for me either. And I feel like it's a bit like, it's a very social thing, and I'm quite an antisocial person, you know, like even though like, I can be very social, I'm quite a loner. So it's like, I feel like in drama school is people that flourish there are people that are bubbly and people that want to hang out afterwards with everyone, and you really network and make good connections there that you can go on and make. Where I'm like an introverted extrovert, you know? And then it's like I can bring it out when it's necessary. Otherwise, I like to kind of be chill, reserved. I don't really want to start conversations. This is where I kind of fell when it comes to like networking parties, you know. From being in films like Gassed Up, I've got to attend some great parties and meet some great people, but maybe I'm not doing enough because I should be really biting some people's ears off, and I'm just like, all right, my name's Craig, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you know I mean? Your agent, like, you got your agent to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's the same. Like, I never wanted to go. Like, you know, I'm not going to say names actually, but I never wanted to go to music schools because it was like I always felt weirdly I weren't a musician who was a musician. Like,
what do you mean?
Like it was a bit like I never felt like someone who'd learnt. I taught myself guitar, I taught myself how to sing.
Self-taught,
Self-taught and all that, like exactly how you've done with your craft, you know? And I found people that were in that world a little bit unbearable sometimes. Like, I can relate. It's, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the drum, you know, it's all a bit like, oh man, I just don't want to, you're not my people. Like, my people are down a pub, you know, getting on it every Saturday or whatever, having a pint and just having a laugh. And it's like you learn more just watching or just, you know, living the life as opposed to, you know, I completely understand what you mean by that. Can I go back to when you were saying about like the choreography?
Yeah.
And
It's Batman.
yeah, no,
He's like, I've got to go back to Batman, guys.
Batman. No, but my question really is about like how do they fund a young actor? Like choreography, you said goes on for weeks and that. Do they always pay for your time as an actor whilst you're on set? So you're on a retainer sort of thing?
I was paid, so it can be different with every actor. Do you know what I mean? Like, depends what your role is and stuff. But what I was doing was getting
Oh, no.
It's all right. It's all right.
technical difficulties.
Guys, I've just literally spilt a pint of Guinness, as you could see if you're watching. If you're just listening, spilt it all over Fabian. I was just more worried about laptop.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fabe. Sorry,
No worries.
So my question to Craig was, in terms of the acting side of things, being on set for a length of time, choreography, like, do you get a retainer for that? Do you get how does that work?
Yeah, so as I was saying, it can change between depending on your role and stuff. But for me, as that small role in Batman, you get paid for your choreography every day. You get like a daily rate, and that's whether or not like you're there for the whole day or half a day. And more time, it was not that long. It was just a few hours, and then they get in a fancy car, take me back home. Do you know? So you actually want to stay longer. You know, can I stay? And if you wanted to, they would let you just hang around as well, which was really cool as well. So we got to see some of the sets being built and stuff, and some of the boys we just chilled. You know, we just chilled out because we're getting paid for the day. So we can either go home and like chill out, or we can just chill here on set where we want to be. Do you know what I mean? So we was mingling, talking to people. But yeah, we had like a certain amount of money we'd get paid daily, but that was just like rehearsal fee, and then it's like you get a different fee for the time that you're actually on set. Then there's things like overtime and stuff like that. So like a day rate is like 12 day. It could change 9 or 12 hours, depends. 8, 9, 12 hours, depends how the contracts worded it. But basically, if you go over your set period of time, you get charged overtime and stuff like that. So sometimes people in the cast and crew are like, I hope it goes overtime because you get paid more money, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And someone like Matt Reeves, who's, you know, very specifically wants what he wants, more time he might go into overtime.
Yeah. So
everyone was kind of just happy on that set to be obviously you're working on Batman. Most people are like a massive fan, you know, growing up with that. So everyone's happy to be there, especially us boys. It was like a big moment for us to be on such a big set. So yeah, everyone was just really enjoying it, and yeah, financially, man, it was one of the best paid gigs, and I only had a small role. Can you imagine? Like, I had a small role, like one line, like, and I got paid quite a bit, you know. So it's like it's an amazing opportunity, and I feel like I believe it was Matt specifically said he wanted like some young actors that are upcoming from England, because he could have got some American dudes that he knew or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But he wanted some English new guys, and I love that.
Brits are the best.
Yeah, well,
in everything, I think.
I just love the fact that he gave a platform for us to keep, you know, have a moment.
Yeah.
And some guys did really well, like Jay, who's in the group with us. He's the guy with half his face painted. If you remember, he went on to be actually Robin in Titans. Yeah.
Well, this was so. I thought they were going to use him. Oh, wow,
so they fused the worlds, man. So there was like, that is actually the same guy who then becomes Robin.
Are you joking?
Yeah. And
oh, so it was right.
Yeah.
Because I said from the dot. No. I said from the dot, right? Because they wanted to originally use Damon Wayne to be Robin in the third Robin, right? So they wanted. Let me explain this, right? So they wanted him to be Robin, the original Harvey Dent that was in all of the films that Tim Burton done. They were going to use him as Two-Face. They taxed him, got Tommy Lee Jones in. They were going to have Robin Williams as the Riddler. So that was going to be that story. But they was always crying out for a Black Robin, right? So what they've done now is they've actually, I was like, straight away, I was like, he's going to be Robin. Because he did not want to be any part of the action, right? So he stepped back, and the Two-Face was like the two worlds, and it was homage.
It was signified. But I'll tell you what, when he was filming that, bro, he didn't have the role.
Oh, wow.
This is something that he was, I think at that time he was auditioning for the role. And I don't know how far that process he was, but it wasn't to the point where he was like to us guys, I might be Robin. He was still quite, you know what I mean? He's going through a process. As actors, when you're in like a big thing like that, you don't really talk about it too much.
Yeah.
Not unless you're like, it's either me or him. Then you might say to people like, I could have this, bro. Do you know what I mean? But like more times, because like rejection is something you really have to get used to when you're an actor. Of
course.
Even if you're amazing, it could be something small like, the other guy's a bit taller, the other girl's the same height, it matches. Could be height, it could be skin tone, it could be anything, you know, it could be any small little thing that's out of your control.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he actually had the role, man. I think afterwards, like when he got the role, they was like, let's tie it, because it just makes so much sense, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, well done to Jay, man. Like he smashed it, bro, and he's still doing great things as well. Check him out.
Wicked.
So landing a role in Batman, how do you get that role?
So that was through my agent.
Okay.
My agent at the time, literally just got an audition opportunity. It was a self-tape. And then I had to go into the actual room, which I believe was somewhere in Shoreditch, and then actually just stand. It wasn't Matt Reeves there. It was like a pretty woman who's like an assistant or something, and you know, she was recording me, had me say the lines. So I auditioned for the gang leader. So my friend Elliot got that role, but all of us auditioned for that one role, and then everyone who didn't get that role that they liked, they offered us the role to be in the gang.
Okay.
And that's how I got the trained gang member free.
Oh, wicked. So listen, going from being in a gang and having a small part in a film, you have a film now that's released, Cookster. So talk to us about Cookster. You are the main character.
Yes, so this is my first time being the main actor in a feature film. And what's interesting about this one is that it's based on a true story. So it's based on the real life story of Jason Cook, who ex-criminal, now a very good guy. And if you speak to him, he's a lovely, lovely guy. Very, very cool. But yeah, he had a bit of a hard life. Grew up in Bournemouth. I like that in this role, it made me, again, different from Roach, even though similar vibes, like I do deal drugs, but this one's heavily on cocaine. So like this one's not so much weed, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of cocaine around here. Never have I had to sniff so much fake drugs in my life, except for that film. Yeah, that film I've sniffed a lot. It's actually vitamins. So, you know, you can OD on vitamins though. You know, you can go over the top with it. But yeah, that was a lot, man. But yeah, it's all based on a true story. And it's actually a series, so it starts off as a book. He wrote a book, and he's got like 4 or 5 of them now. Right. And so they turned the first one, which is a prequel, into the first film. And so he's actually got a whole lineup of further films to go, depending on the success of each film. So if the film does well, then we do the next one. If the film does well, we get a bigger budget, do the next one. And the plan is to grow with me. So like I start at the age when he is like, I forgot how old he is. I think he's like, it's been a while since I shot it now, but I think he's like 17, 18 again, similar to Roach's age. But then as the books and then the films progress, you know, he turns into 20s, his 30s, eventually goes to prison, and there's a whole different story. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, there's room for us to grow together with this franchise if it does well.
So did you have to hang about, Jason?
Jason.
Did you have to hang about with Jason a lot then?
So I met him, like, the interesting thing of this as well is like, I met him like, not too long after we shot Cruel, man.
Really?
So I met him then, and then like he was specifically looking, because he was ginger growing up, yeah. That's why he was specifically looking for a certain type of ginger guy in it. There's not many ginger guys that can pull off what I do as Roach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, even this is all long before Roach and stuff, you know, this is before I done much things, but he met me, we had a meeting, we took some pictures and stuff, and he was like, yeah, like, I really like you, like, I'd love you to play this role in my film. He gave me a book, he's like, you can read the book, see if you like it, da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, this is amazing. And then like years went by, man, and nothing happened. And I was like, because at the time I was like telling people like, I'm gonna be the lead role in a film, and I told my mum and you know.
Of course you can. Yeah. Mate, you would not believe the amount of swearing we've had on this podcast. We've got so many beeps to come.
So many edits.
Cool. So yeah, man, I was really excited. And then like years went by, man, and I would hit him up obviously and be like, what's going on? He's like, oh, we had some issues, we were sorting things out. And it wasn't until like maybe a good 3 years later, man, that he hit me up and was like, oh, we're ready, we've got the money, we can do it, we're gonna shoot it, we've got a team, everything. And yeah, so like to get to know him, what I really liked is I spent some time with him obviously, but not too much, because he's a busy guy as well, you know. Also, I'm living in Hackney, he was living in Bournemouth. He's got like a family to deal with and stuff, you know, life. But I met his mum, and I feel like that was one of the biggest things for me, is I had to meet his mum. Like, and I met his mum, and I remember she saying to me that, yeah, I look similar to how she remembers her son looking. And then she watched one of our scenes that I'd done with the woman called Tracy Shaw, if you know her from Coronation Street, great actress.
Oh, yeah.
Tracy Shaw, yeah. So she plays my mother in Cookster.
Right.
And so the mum, his real mum, was watching us have the scene, kind of just giving us how it would be in real life. Do you know what I mean? And just having her input there, and just having her like go like that was like, okay, because for this the first time I've impersonated a human, like a real person.
Yeah. Every
other time it's just a fake, someone's created this character. Roach is a character
from your imagination,
Archie's a character, all these characters that I've done, but this is a real person whose family members will watch this and be like, that's nothing like him, or that's exactly like him. And for me, the biggest thing I wanted to do was be like, I wanted his close family and friends to be like, yeah, you've got the best like he is you. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was trying my hardest, man. I altered my speech a bit, I altered my look a bit. This is what I really wanted, an opportunity to do this, because it's set years ago, you know, set in the olden times, and it's set when DJ Luck and MC Neat were banging out music.
Wow, nice.
We actually got their soundtrack in there as well. So DJ Luck knows Jason. I think they went to school together. So they got on board, gave us some music and stuff. And DJ Luck's in one of the scenes with me actually as well.
Really?
So it was great to meet him, and you know what I mean, just have a good energy, good vibe. And yeah, man, it was just a great experience as well.
So do you feel like you have to like immerse yourself into the character? How do you draw on that feeling of being that character? Is there like,
I mean, I got Jason to send me loads of pictures when he was young, like around the same age of what I'm playing.
Yeah.
So I looked at all these pictures and stuff, and just like, obviously we're not too similar because he has a different upbringing from me. In the sense that if you grew up in Boreham Wood those days, it's quite similar to how you talk. Right?
Mate.
And then I've grown up like with a more multi-ethnic kind of, the way I speak is like colloquial London, do you know what I mean? So I had to alter a few things to try and fit into that time period. And even the way we dress and stuff is just very different, do you know what I mean? And I liked it. And even though they went to the point that even in the shots when you watch the film, all the cars you see are all the only old cars. You're not going to see any new cars and stuff, do you know what I mean? I love that they put that kind of effort into it, you know? And everything's just like on point for that time period, and I loved it, you know.
So living in Hackney, that's right?
Yeah.
The people that live around there are some drug dealers, there's some drug takers.
Yeah.
Did you have to like immerse yourself in their way of thinking, just watching the way that they behave?
So the storyline is like, he has a reason for why he gets into doing what he does. Dealing with the devil's dandruff.
Okay.
So he's got a reason. He does end up taking it. But at the beginning it's not that, like he's thinking I need to make money for various reasons. So it was more, for me, it was more thinking like the desperation that he feels and the need to just like become better than what he is. Like his dad works a really bad job, doesn't have a lot of money, and he watches that and he's like, I don't want to be the same, you know. And he's like, he's seeing other people that he knows with a lot of money selling drugs, and he wants to get involved. He falls into the trap that most young men do, you know. But he does have good intentions, but I feel like a lot of people do, you know. So it's relatable.
How does it feel having your film in the cinema?
Oh, it feels, this is the third one. So like,
well, your lead though.
Oh, this is the first for me to have my face on the poster, like, you know, front and center, which is really good, man. Like it's good to be able to say to my friends and people that have been watching my career slowly grow from Cruel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that, because I remember I would meet people that know me in life and they'd be like, oh, how's your little acting thing doing? Like, and you have to like, you listen to those words like little acting thing, and I'm like, oh, you don't rate me, yeah. But then later on, I'll see them again. They'll be like, bro, I saw your face on the bus. Like, well, I'm going to watch your film tonight. Like, I'm going to grab my girl and watch it. And those same people, to see the difference in energy. And it's just literally just like, unfortunately, it is when you start to get some form of success. And I wouldn't even say I've hit like the success that I've always dreamed of. You know, like now, sometimes the odd person will stop me and be like, I swear I know you from this film.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing feeling, you know, if, like someone recognizes you for what you do. But yeah, I want to buy my mum a house. You know what I mean? I want to really like experience the success. And even from, you know, as we spoke earlier off air, when I had a record deal as a kid, I had all those thoughts as a 16-year-old. I was like, I'm going to buy my mum a house. And now I'm in my 30s. And then it's like, it's still not bought the house. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a hard grind, bro. You know, it's a hard...
But you've got that youthful skin, man. Like I'm telling you, like
I play the young boys, yeah.
Mate, I'm going grey. I'm like, I'm getting fatter. You know, like I'm lucky now. Musicians look the way they do. They look like the monsters these days. I'm like, I can get big and tattoos on my face.
They want that life experience, isn't it? That's
they do. They do. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you've always been like the arts is where you need to tread foot, right? Like whether it be music, whether it be an entertainer in you know, being a magician and stuff.
Storytelling.
That's
exactly. The core of it, yeah.
Like,
as long as I'm telling stories, I feel like I'll succeed.
Yeah.
Whether that's like to like superstardom or just be able to pay my bills, like we was talking about off air before as well, like I'm just satisfied with either one, man, because I've worked bad jobs, you know, I've worked like late night delivery driving or one of my first gigs was like in Boots, like just being a customer and dealing with some really rude people.
Yeah.
I've pulled drinks behind like shady bars, like, you know what I mean? So it's like I've lived that life, and it's like to be able to pay my bills with stuff that I love.
Yeah,
it's a whole different feeling, man.
It's amazing,
you know?
isn't it? Like, I don't think there's any, like, I feel when you earn money from what you really love to do, you don't have to reach the top. It's like,
It's satisfying,
I'm
right?
doing it. I'm doing it. You know,
And it's a dream for a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a dream, just
definitely.
being able to make some money from it, you know.
Yeah. Have you got any stories? You haven't got to name names or anything, but you touched on, it's funny how when people think you're successful, you know, like how they sort of change a little bit towards you and
Oh,
stuff.
100%, bro.
Like
yeah.
what can you tell us any stories, like any sort of, like, you don't have to name names,
Yeah,
but
I
like
mean, number one, girls.
yeah
100%, bro. Like
Right.
girls for sure. Like I feel like, unfortunately, like, you know, like the same girl that might not look at me in the street, if she saw that I was in the movie, that and everyone's liking the movie, then she saw me again, she'd want to talk to me. And it's the same. I've experienced that a lot, and so navigating that can be hard, because you always think like, do you not actually like me? Is it just that I'm an actor, I've got the blue tick? Like, is that what it is? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like I don't know, innit? But luckily for me, the people that I've got around me are true people, and I've seen other people fall victim to that.
Yeah.
You know, where a girl he's one of my actor friends, he's more successful than me, fell in love, and then the girl was kind of just abusing him because he had a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Kind of just taking money from him, and
Wow.
in the end, his mates had to sit him down and be like, "Don't do it, bro. It's not worth it, bro." Do you know what I mean? And he's moved on now and he's happy, but that's something I always remember. And I'm like, that's because he was a very popular guy, and she's like a very gorgeous, beautiful, attractive woman. So it's like he was just kind of blinded by that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's one of the stories. And then just like your friends as well, man. People that you grew up with that don't necessarily, never necessarily liked me, but like afterwards, like I'll see them and they'll be like, "Oh, I see your film. I know. I remember when we was young," and then all of a sudden, like we've got stories together and stuff. But I'll be like, you didn't help me in any way, bro. You know, or like same way those same people that was like, "Oh, how's your little acting thing doing?"
Yeah, I hate
You
that
know.
because it's the same when you go to barbecues and all that. And one thing I hate is like the first question anyone asks before, "How are you?" As a music guy.
I hate that as well. I guess.
Yeah, it's. Do you want another beer?
Yeah, I'll take another one, bro. I'm
Alright.
down this now.
But I do. Let's grab one of them. I won't spill it over your face.
Please don't.
Oh no!
You either.
you
Oh, it feels so bad.
That's all right,
But
mate.
can you imagine it went on that laptop? I bought a brand new laptop just for the purpose of doing these podcasts and all the rest of it. I was like, oh, mate. I see the Guinness flying. I was like, no.
You care about me
This
at
side
all?
is much safer, bro.
Yes, let's keep it there. Do you know what? I really want to get a sponsorship by Guinness. I'm going to put it in there. So I keep putting a Guinness there, man. You got work.
I want
hustle.
Huel.
You'll get it,
I
bro.
want Huel.
He wants Huel. Yeah.
Trying to put some weight on
You're
here.
the health guy.
Yeah, man.
Oh mate, I'm the opposite. We were thinking about calling this podcast the athlete and the abuser.
Come on, that sounds wrong though.
Yeah, I know,
wrong.
I know.
That's so right. I'm glad he's the one that's abused it.